Hi, Sam here with CAD Productivity. Welcome to Civil CAD Consultant's Express tip on using the dynamic origin in the template editor. The dynamic origin is the small purple box that you see in your template editor. Here it is shown at the 0, 0 coordinate. The dynamic origin is not necessarily where the template is applied, even though it would be in this case. The template is always applied at the 0, 0 coordinate, no matter where the dynamic origin is. Well, if it's not used for applying the template, what is the dynamic origin used for? Let's look at a couple of examples. Let's say that I want to put in another lift of asphalt. I'm going to right-click and add a new component. I'll give it a name. For the top of the component, I'll trace the points in the component above. When I get to the last point, I want to use a key-in to give the component a depth. I'll use my DL key-in. I'll give it a delta X of 0 and a delta Y of minus 0.75. I enter, and it places the point 0.75 feet below the point above. When I get to the next point going back across, I want to also give it a depth, but the depth needs to come from the point above. The DL key-in is always from the previous point. So what I can do is set the dynamic origin, lock it on, notice it follows the cursor, lock it on to the point I'm wanting to come from, and then rather than using DL, I'll use one of my two O key-ins. OL is the same as DL, which is delta X and delta Y, from the dynamic origin. OS is the same as HS, horizontal and slope, but from the dynamic origin. So in this case I'll use OL. I'll again give it a 0 in the X, minus 0.75 in the Y, and the point is placed below the point above. I can step my way across, set the dynamic origin. Now for the key-in, I can just use my up arrow to get the key-in back and set the next point. I can continue doing this across until I have all the points placed. So that's an example of how you can use the dynamic origin using the key-ins OL or OS. Thanks for watching. To be notified when we publish new tips, sign up for our email list at civilcadconsultant.com, follow us on Twitter, or like us on Facebook.